Good morning, Rocky Top. We're going to start today's shows in the wise words of Jelly Roll. The windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror for a reason, because what's in front of us is much more important than what is behind us. That's right, Vol fans, Tennessee is rising to Rocky Top as we welcome you to the Rocky Top Rundown. I'm Devin Arnold.
I'm Drea Peebles, and we're here to provide you with all the exciting news from this past weekend, from the field to the pitch. We also have a new segment surrounding the pulse check of college football.
That's right, Drea. How about we get it started with the big win over the Razorbacks this past Saturday?
Well, the Vols played another nail-biter again on Saturday, hosting the Arkansas Razorbacks in Neyland Stadium. The tone was set early with lots of back-and-forth scoring in just the first quarter.
Arkansas started the scoring, driving down the field and running it in for a touchdown. Tennessee was able to respond, driving down the field themselves on 7 plays, and they finally got into the end zone on a 17-yard run by Deshaun Bishop. On Arkansas's next drive, Jordan Ross was able to get to the quarterback, Taylon Green, and knock the ball out and even recovered it himself. After Tennessee went 3 and out, the Razorbacks drained out the rest of the clock in the first quarter and kicked a field goal to take the lead.
The Vols led off the second quarter with a 12-play drive, but unable to get much movement with the offense, Tennessee settled for 3 points on Max Gilbert's 37-yard field goal. The Razorbacks responded with a touchdown before Joey Aguilar led a quick 5-play drive that resulted in an 8-yard pass to Miles Kitselman to tie that game right back up at 17.
The third quarter was all Vols. On the first drive of the quarter, the Volunteers were able to get in the field goal range and take a lead on a 50-yard field goal by Max Gilbert. Both defenses played very well, but Tennessee's highlight play was coming from another forced fumble by Idris Farouk and a recovery by Aaron Carter, which was finally able to score again just before the quarter ended on a Peyton Lewis touchdown run from the 2-yard line.
Arkansas started the fourth quarter with the ball, but Tennessee's defense was ready. Tennessee forced Green to fumble again, and this time was able to turn the turnover into points. Taking over in Arkansas's territory, it took Tennessee just 4 plays to score another touchdown on another Lewis run. Arkansas responded with 2 more touchdowns on their own to make it to a 3-point game, but it was too late, too little, as the Vols were able to hold on for the win 34-31. Tennessee will travel down to Tuscaloosa next weekend to take on number 6 Alabama in a game that could determine the fate of the Vols for this season.
With all the exciting news running around college football, teams that aren't supposed to win are beating teams in the top 10, knocking them out. It's super excitement, so we wanted to bring our own new segment called College Football Rundown. We are Rocky Top Rundown, but with all the chaos that's circulating in the football scene, we can't miss out covering some of the other teams as well.
You know, Devin, my biggest concern all season has been Arch Manning. He was one of the highest rated quarterbacks of the preseason, but honestly has been a bum all year.
Yep.
And that was until Texas' biggest rivalry, the Red River rivalry, needless to say, Arch balled out.
He did his thing for sure. Here are some of the stats for the viewers. He went 21-27 with 166 passing yards and 1 touchdown. He also added a slim 34 yards on the ground with 4 carries. Arch was hardly missing his receivers, ended the game with a 77% completion rating, just lethally accurate in the game this past week against Oklahoma. And the UT junior ended up leading his Texas Longhorns to a 23-6 victory.
But wait, there's more, Devin. I think the best job in the world is being fired as a head coach,
Really?
and I'll tell you why. James Franklin had been on the hot seat for the past 2 weeks now, but what put him there? Nico Iamaleava. That's right. The 0-4 Bruins knocked off the Penn State Nittany Lions in a convincing fashion. This raised questions all across college football as Penn State was a playoff contender. And what do you know? Penn State walks into their very own stadium and goes home winless, pinning the Nittany Lions at 3-3, leaving them winless so far in their conference. But that's not all. The very next day, James Franklin was fired. Now back to my question, why is being fired as a head coach my dream job? That's because Franklin's buyout was upwards of $49 million.
That does sound like a pretty great job, let me tell you. But I don't know, Nico and his camp might have still said no to that deal.
Yeah, how about we just turn our attention towards a more successful program?
Let's do it. All right, so on the pitch, the Lady Vols women's soccer team looks to defeat the Oklahoma Sooners and take their win streak to a 7-game win streak in the SEC. The Lady Vols started off very aggressive with this fantastic deep shot coming from Luciana Latino, which ended up just barely missing left. And shortly after this, Oklahoma takes their own chance at the net And it was headed off the path by defender Allie Brown and scooped up by our fantastic keeper, Caden Norris. Check out the physicality of Norris and Brown on that play right there. And then down on the Volunteer side of the pitch, once again, Oklahoma takes a shot on goal, but it is saved by who else? Caden Norris.
Breaking into the second half, Mac Midgley screeched down in the middle of the field and takes a shot on goal, which rolled right into the hands of Oklahoma's keeper. After a very long back and forth, Oklahoma finds a couple of more looks on goal, and this one coming into the 83rd minute of the play, it is saved by Caden Norris. The next shot comes on goal, and 30 seconds later, it is once again saved by Norris.
She just stops everything. It's like a brick wall out there. And even though there was a draw for the Lady Vols, they moved to 11-1-2, but they still remain at the number 4 spot in the country. While the outcome wasn't really ideal, Caden Norris, our keeper, had a phenomenal game, moving her to 33 saves on the year, with 3 coming from the game against Oklahoma. The Lady Vols are up next against the Florida Gators this Thursday, but in the game against Oklahoma, they ended up outshooting them 16-8. So this upcoming Thursday, make sure you're there at 7 p.m. to cheer on the Vols against the Florida Gators.
Thank you, Devin. I want to take us back to that Jelly Roll quote that you had mentioned earlier. We do have a big weekend for this week for the Tennessee Vols. So many SEC matchups, and all we can do is look forward towards Rocky Top.
That is well said, Jerry. I know Big Orange Country can't wait to start the week ahead. I'm Devin Arnold.
I'm Drea Peebles, and this has been Rocky Top Rundown.
VOLS, VOLS, go Vols, go!